All right, so let's just get into the shout out and then we get into the Bible verse and then we're going to get into the main video. It's going to be a little collab video. We're going to have bits and pieces of my friend Joshua Lawrence's point. Then you're going to have my points thrown in there, obviously, because it's my video. But yeah, just to give you a heads up. Now let's get into the video. All right, our comment shout out goes from Irvin Jackson. I'm not gonna lie, this is hilarious. This is hot off of my last video, so let's get into it. Yeah, they said she was 500 plus pounds. Yeah, that is insane work. Like realistically, what in the hell? But you know, people are gonna act like, you know, she was in the right. I don't see how, you know. You ride for what is necessary for you. You get what I mean? But yeah, anyway.
A few minutes later.
All right, the Bible verse comes from Matthew 5:28. Let's get into it. All right. But I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman who lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. Again, that's Matthew 5:28. Now then, let's get into the video. Basically, the first point in my entire thing in this video is going to be obviously the animation and or art style.
The animation is so freaking trash. I've seen Ruby. I've seen Ruby with similar animation and it does it 10 times better. I've seen things animated with the same animation that this show is trying to do, and it is trash compared to all of them.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's lazy. It really is. And the problem I have with the animation itself is that the art style itself is fine. I feel like it would lend more to 2D animation than 3D because like the 3D look they go with is cheap and it looks very much unfinished. Like it looks like they weren't entirely done, even though this project has been pushed back for years now. This was supposed to come out. It was supposed to be MCU. And then it's supposed to be, you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just stick to the point. Yeah, no, the animation, it just doesn't do it for me. It's like a mix of like What If and then a mix of like the Ultimate Spider-Man video game, but done poorly. It's like they really try to make up for the animation with that little stylized choice, which I really do enjoy. And I wish that more comic book like movies and shows did this, you know, had more of a comic booky feel to how they go about it. Because that's a good touch, honestly. That's really is good. I wanted to give some positivity in here. I wanted to feel like I'm just dunking on it. Now I'm going to continue to dunk on it with the next portion of, you know, the overall point. Yeah, the suit for me, and I already know that it's going to be like a multi-suit show. So I'm not too broken up about like, you know, the suit, but yeah, how do I put this? Yeah, the homemade suit is terrible. It's the worst homemade suit I've seen in a minute. Honestly, it's not even like trying to be cool. You know what I mean? And it's not even just that. Like suit itself is just so unbearable. Like it looks like a tedious asshole to animate. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of unnecessary parts to the suit. And the whole janky, giant, clunky web shooter is terrible. I don't get that. I really don't. I don't care what it's a wink and a nod to. It doesn't look good visually. And I feel like that's an important aspect of an animated property. You know, the style and look and feel of the show. And it just doesn't do it for me. It really doesn't. Like, I just don't get that. And like, him just getting the suit from Norman instead of doing it himself, just adding more credence to the fact that, yeah, people are tone deaf when it comes to Spider-Man because people eating this up. It's like he can't even make a proper suit that isn't trash without a billionaire's help. You get what I mean? Like, one of the best aspects about Peter is the fact that not only is he broke, but he can still fashion a suit with the things he has at hand and his creativity. And you don't see that shine through with most modern interpretations of Peter. You get me? It's just not something you see. And yeah, I think that wraps up my suit complaints. Now really getting to the meat of it.
The voice actor for Peter Parker saying he was afraid the show would be woke gets even more frustrating when you find out he didn't even have to audition to be Spider-Man. It was handed to him.
He said the role was handed to him, which is true. If you just look at Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, the role was handed to him, but let's not act like he didn't audition for his role in Marvel What If Season 1, where he gave a stellar performance as a Tom Holland sound-alike, and that's why they gave him the job. Because if you remember, this show was supposed to be Tom Holland's prequel series, but then they changed it last minute. That's your first lie. Second lie was not showing, I'm not even going to say it's a lie, it's just you just being overall disingenuous. Show the full quote of what he said. You show us one part of the quote, but you don't show the full quote, which is weird. If you're reporting on this, you're acting as a journalist, spreading a message, spreading the truth, you would show the full context of the message. I just think that's weird. Am I tripping? No, I'm not. I thought it was awesome. I mean, my biggest fear was it was going to be annoying and woke, and it wasn't. And I was like, yes, this is great. It's so well written, like it feels real. And then if you continue the quote, I'm the oldest of 5 boys, so I feel like I kind of know what's happening in their lives and in high school, and it felt like it was doing that justice.
Yeah, the politics. No, the politics for me, I really do try to like, deal with it because it's going to be a thing in modern media, especially in modern superhero media as part of Disney in particular. I'm not going to get into a whole thing, but if you know, you know.
Leadership over there has been so welcoming to like my like not at all secret gay agenda. And
So yeah, they are not even trying to be shy about it anymore. They haven't been for some time.
let's have these two characters kiss. Let's in the background. This like I was just wherever I could, just basically adding queerness to like the. If you see anything queer in the show,
And it's not something they really want to be shy about either. So it's gonna be there regardless. It's just the way they do it and implement it. It's weird and very hypocritical because isn't the point of a modernized, stylized political show to show how different people are now and their sensibilities have changed regarding race and gender and all those things, but you still show the same tired tropes of
I do it soon. Who knows who else is thinking about asking her out?
you gotta keep most of the LGBTQ things to a wrap, and then you gotta, overall show the changing times by also, having these characters just exist in the show on a meta level.
So fast.
I know, Pete. Trust me. I was really hoping it was going to be one of us.
Oh my God, Disney, we get it. She's gay. Oh my. To me, I'm just like, it doesn't work because like, who is this even for at this point? Like, is the kiddie art style meant to signify that it's for children, or is the mature tones leading me to believe that it's for a more mature audience who can thoroughly understand the political undertones?
I know that look. That's the I didn't think the star quarterback would have an act for science look.
Yeah, no. So two things. One, yeah, Marvel, could you beat me over the head with a less blunt object? And two, yeah, no, I refuse to believe that Peter, a genius, going to a genius school, did not know that, yeah, everyone here is damn near a genius. So I call bullshit. I'm just very confused on that. If it's both, then I'm like, okay, but it's like, you're still doing it in the worst way you're trying to, show these, messages being put. And once again, I call bullshit because Marvel, what is the point of these scenes and these modern, political moves? It's like, are people different? Are people changing? Are people better or they're not?
They prioritize diversity over a good story. And that's what the actor was clearly talking about when he said woke. With me listing those examples, are we seriously going to act like this don't exist? The word, I get what people saying like, oh, it's turning, the word is losing meaning, yada, yada. No, y'all just disingenuous on all sides and all cylinders. You got the extremists that use it as an excuse to be racist, and you got y'all who try to pay attention to the extremists because y'all know if y'all pay attention to the people with legit criticism, y'all have to admit that something you are trying to force yourself to like is trash, just like this show.
I don't know. It just bothers me. And to get past that, yeah, another point, the origin story itself is so overplayed. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I like it anymore, like, because I don't. I feel like characters like Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, and more well-known characters, you don't need to constantly have origin stories being made and produced in animation or live action because we already know the story. Just put us into the universe, an established universe, show us some action and get into it. I don't get the whole keeping him in the training wheels phase of his journey. I don't get what it serves his story anymore when most people already know. Most people are acquainted to Spider-Man. And if you're gonna do it different like it does, don't do a poor job of doing it different. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna mean that by like the spider bite. You know what I mean? Which is the next point. The spider bite itself is so stupid. Like, are you basically saying that this version of Peter is an anomaly? And if you are saying that, yeah, no, bad job of executing it for sure. Like, it's not even trying to show like a good, well-rounded and fresh take on how he got his powers. It's just Spider-Verse, but with Peter. And it's why? Are you saying that like this version of the Marvel Universe is so incompetent they can't make a radioactive spider? Like, what are we talking about here? This is so lazy to me. Oh, just open a portal that Doctor Strange is going through where he's fighting most likely a Clintar. Come on now, guys, let's keep it real. And show him not even being known in this universe. So yeah, that just opens a whole different can of worms. But on top of that, you have the spider go through the same portal that Doctor Strange randomly opened. So it's like, was Doctor Strange at Oscorp or was he at like a different universe as Oscorp? Where was he? Like, where did the spider bite come from? You know, I'm just confused on like why change how he gets bitten? Like, I don't understand it. It's not more creative. It's not more dynamic. And if anything, it kind of hurts the universe on a meta level and just on an overall scale. But whatever. And then it gets into my last point, which is the motivations of this version of Spider.
All the woke stuff aside, Bro, my biggest complaint is we are watching a show about a Spider-Man with no motivation. Why is he a hero? If Uncle Ben is dead before he becomes Spider-Man, what is the reason for him to even become a hero? I'll tell you, he has none. And I had somebody try to use Ultimate Spider-Man like, oh, Uncle Ben didn't die before the bite. Uncle Ben died before the bite in Ultimate Spider-Man, the new one. He's still alive, you idiots, and he goes to him advice. That's still his motivation. Stop trying to erase Uncle Ben. It's weird.
His motivations are just not defined very well. Like, why does he put on the suit in this timeline? Because if it's not MCU adjacent anymore, because it used to be, that was the whole point of the show, was to be like an origin story of an origin story of like the lost years of Peter before he met Tony. And so now that it's not that, it's like, so Uncle Ben existed, but he had no impact in his life. So why even bring him up? It's like people are saying that, oh, this is better because they're at least mentioning him, but he has no relevance to him putting on the costume. Like, unless they're going to do a flashback, which even then is stupid because we could have just seen that. And if you want to say, oh, we didn't want to just kill him again, you were already going to kill him anyway because he's already dead. Like, you were literally already going to kill him again because he's already dead. So it's like there's no point in bringing up that argument. You know what I mean? And yeah, no, I just don't rock with it. It's really irritating and it's not very well thought out in my opinion. I could have used a bit more time in the kitchen. It came to just the overall plot and the story that they wanted to tell with this version of Peter. You know what I mean? And like, it's just, yeah, but that's just my take on it. Hopefully you enjoyed this little collaboration with me and Jay Willie. And yeah, we're going to see you later. Peace.